Hello guys, welcome to Net Experts. My name is Sitanshu Kapoor. Today I'm going to start the 17th lecture of Microsoft Windows Server 2019 series. In the previous lecture, we learned about DNS Server in Server 2019 Part 2. In this lecture, we are going to learn about DHCP Server in Server 2019 Part 1. Let's start the session guys. Okay, so before I start this session, I want to tell you that we'll cover basic DNS services, basic DNS only. I need to cover in my upcoming lectures advanced DNS services as well. We need to learn about in that advanced DNS. We need to learn about forwarding, what is conditional forwarding, and lots more. What is root hints and new features in Server 2019, all those stuff. Okay, so we'll cover, not to worry. I'll just cover last two videos. This is for basic DNS services only. Okay, so now let's start with DHCP. So the today topic is we need to learn about DHCP. So what is DHCP? So if we talk about the DHCP, so DHCP is what? It's a services in Server 2019. As you can see that it's not only in Server 2019. DHCP services runs in so many servers like 2003, 2000, 2003, 2008, 12, 16, 19. So it's a very old services. Okay, so this services provides by server OS, as you can see that server OS. Okay, so we need to understand this service provides by server OS. Now what is the use of this? It's not like that we can install only in server OS. We can use DHCP services in router also. Like if you have a physical device router, so router also support DHCP services. So we need to enable DHCP services on routers as well. Okay, so now next we need to understand is that with the help of now we need to understand what DHCP do. So with the help of DHCP services, we are able to provide IP address to the clients, to the DHCP clients. So what DHCP do? DHCP provides the IP address. Okay, what DHCP do? DHCP provides the IP address. You can say that automatically. Now the word is automatically. It's a layman language. You can say that. Like if technically, if I tell you that what is DHCP, so DHCP is what DHCP is the services. It is used to provide not only IP address. It provides TCP/IP full configuration. Okay, if we talk about the DHCP services, so if we are able to understand is that with the help of DHCP services, we are able to provide IP address automatically to the DHCP client. So it is used to provide the IP address. Like imagine that if I have 100 or like imagine that I have 200 to 300 clients in my, I have 200 clients in my network. I have 200 PCs. Now I want to provide IP address on all 200 PCs. I have two ways. Either I can manually set the IP address to all the PCs or devices, or what I need to do, I can use DHCP services. Okay, so for DHCP services, what I need two things. Either I can use server, or either I can use router. We can use anything. Okay, from these two. So either I can use router, either I can use dedicated server, and I can install the DHCP services on that. I can configure DHCP services on that, and after that, with the help of that particular server, I can provide the IP address automatically to the clients. Now, if we talk about the technical terms, actually, so we need to understand two things. If we talk about technically, it is known as DHCP provides TCP/IP configuration. TCP/IP configuration to its clients. Now, the question is TCP/IP configuration. Now, previously DHCP provides TCP/IP configuration dynamically, not automatically. We can say the word dynamically. Now why I'm saying previously over there automatically an IP address, and why now I'm saying TCP/IP configuration dynamically. Okay, the question dynamically is why, because DHCP not provide only IP address, it provide complete TCP/IP configuration. So if we talk about the TCP/IP configuration, so in TCP/IP configuration we have lots more things. If I talk about TCP/IP configuration, so it has so many things. It has IP address, okay, it has default gateway. It has subnet mask. It provides subnet mask as well. And provides your preferred DNS. It provides alternate DNS. So these are the 5 things provided by TCP, provided by DHCP. If you're using WINS, they provide the WINS IP addresses also. WINS IP. If I'm using WINS services, I'll let you know. We'll discuss later also that what is WINS services. So if I'm using WINS services, so it provides WINS services IP address as well. So it provides totally six things. But that if I talk about these 6 things, so that 6 things, combination of these 6 things is known as TCP/IP configuration. So it provides all these things, all these services. You can say that all these IP addresses. Okay, so like this, it provides all these IP addresses like this. So that is what we have a TCP/IP configuration, and that's why I call TCP configuration, because it provides these all things. Now next we need to understand dynamically. Dynamically means, why I'm telling dynamically, because it when DHCPs provide any these configurations to the client, any system, so there is a process running on. That process is known as DORA process, or you can call it internal process. DORA process, or we can call internal process. Okay, that's why I told over there. That's why I tell you that we can use dynamically word over there. Automatically means there is no process running in the background. Okay, dynamically means there is a process is running. Like if we have a DHCP, we have one DHCP server, when we have a client, or you can say that one system. When DHCP provides their TCP/IP configuration to that particular system, the process is going on. There is one process going on. That process is known as DORA process or internal process. That's why I use term over there dynamically. Clear? Now if we talk about the process, so we have this kind of process. Like if I go for process, so like this is my DHCP server. Like imagine I have a server. This is my server. I can install DHCP services. This is my server 1, and we have a DHCP services in that. Okay, I can install DHCP services and configure DHCP services. Okay, in that, so this is my DHCP server, as you can say that. And now in this, we have a client also. We have one system that you can say this is the DHCP client. This is known as a DHCP client. Okay, like imagine I am using over there Windows 10 operating system, and over there I am using 2019. So I am using 2019 server. Okay. 2019 server I am using over here, like this. Now these 2 machines connected with each other, with the physical aids connected with each other, like this. Okay. Now once, like imagine now my this client doesn't have any IP address. Okay, I want to provide the IP address with the help of DHCP server. Okay, so right now my this client doesn't have an IP address. He has a MAC address over there. So he is using MAC address in that case. Right now he has a MAC address. Okay, so with the help of MAC address, he start doing broadcast. It using that MAC address, like this FFFF, something like this. Okay, so it using this MAC address FFF dot FFF like dot FFF like this. It using like this type of MAC address it using. Okay, with the help of this MAC address, it's starting discover the number one process is known as DHCP discover. DHCP discover. DORA is the full form. I'll let you know. DHCP discover. So discover means my DHCP client discover the DHCP server with the help of MAC address. It start doing broadcast. It sends broadcast messages in the network. Okay, so now it's starting broadcast messages. It's sending broadcast messages in the network. Okay, now imagine that he found one DHCP server. This is my DHCP server. Now if he found DHCP server, he first sent the one broadcast message. This is known as a DHCP discover. So he discovered the DHCP. Now what happens after that? Now this DHCP sends their offer message. He offer one TCP/IP configuration package. Okay, so number second, DHCP offers, DHCP server offer now. DHCP server offers the IP address. Okay, like this. Understood? Fine. So like this, this is the second process. Now after that, DHCP respond, as you can see, the DHCP server offers, it respond to the client that okay, I give you that much packet. He offers the packet that okay, I have this much packet. If you want, let me know. So you can say that number 3. Now client receive the offer packet and send request message. Number 3, DHCP client receives the offer message and send DHCP request message packet. You can say that it sends the DHCP request message, as you can see that, like this. Understood? So what happens after that? DHCP server sends their offer, and then client receives the offer message and sends back to the request message that okay, please send me your TCP/IP package. Okay. Now after that, what happens in that case? DHCP receives the request message. Okay. Now after that, DHCP receives the request message and he sends their complete TCP/IP configuration. Now fourth step, what happens? DHCP server sends their complete IP address packet. Okay, TCP/IP configuration packet. And after that, what happens? Number 4, the last step in that, DHCP client sends the acknowledgement over there. Again, DHCP client sends their acknowledgement that okay, I receive your packet. Thank you very much. So like this is the 4-way process: offer, discover, offer, request, acknowledgement. These are the 4. That is the full form of these. For discover, O for offer, R for request, A for acknowledgement. I repeat it again. Once first, with the help of MAC address, your DHCP client sending broadcast messages in the network. With the help of that broadcast messages, DHCP client discover the DHCP server. Once DHCP client discover the DHCP server sends their offer message, offers to the client. Now after that, client receive the offer, and then client sends the request, and then DHCP server receive the request message and sends their TCP/IP configuration message to the client. And then after that, once client receives the TCP/IP configuration, client sends their acknowledgement message. So we have 4 major things. You to understand. One is DHCP discover. Number 2, DHCP offer. Number 3, DHCP request. Number 4, DHCP acknowledgement. Like this is the process we have. One thing also is known as doesn't get the IP address configuration. Okay, or you can say that if my DHCP client discards the IP address configuration, he doesn't want this IP address configuration. So what happens in that case? DHCP sends the NACK. NACK means negative acknowledgement message. If DHCP client, like imagine that if my DHCP server sends them request. Now what happens in that case? This client doesn't want to receive this DHCP server package. So what client do? Client sends their negative acknowledgement to the DHCP server that okay, I don't want your IP address. I have some other DHCP server who sends me the package. It might be happen we have multiple DHCP servers as well. So when client broadcasts with the help of MAC address, it might be he found multiple DHCP servers. So all the DHCP servers sends their packets to the client. Then after that, client choose which packet I need. Okay, and then after that it's choosing that like imagine so it chooses from server 1, and then server 2, server 3, we have 2 servers more. So it sends their negative acknowledgement that I don't want your packets, like this. After this process, what happens? After this process, DHCP server sends the TCP IP configuration packet for by default 8 days. By default for 8 days. Okay, we can change these days also. Minimum is 1 day. Okay, by default 8 days. If you not change anything, by default 8 days, and the maximum days is 999 days. Okay, maximum days is 999 days. So like this, we have days also. So minimum you can go for day, hours or seconds also, but as go for days, minimum is 1 day. Maximum is 999 days. Okay, and default is 8 days. If you're not choosing anything, if you go for default settings, so by default your DHCP server sends the IP address for the DHCP client for 8 days only. Okay, after 8 days the IP address is again expires. So default setting, by default setting is 8 days, minimum is 1 day, and maximum is 999 days. And if you want to set for hours or minutes, you can go for that also. Okay, you want that, okay, after 8 hours my IP addresses should be changed automatically. So we can go for 8 hours as well. Okay, like this. So this is the process. Now after this process, DHCP server sends one IP configuration package to the DHCP client. Okay, now after that what we have a renewable process, or we can call rebinding process. Renewable process or rebinding process. We have to we can call it known as renewable process. In renewable process, what happens? Like imagine that this is my server. As you can see that this is my DHCP server, and we have a DHCP client over there. Like imagine this is my DHCP client who got the IP address from DHCP. So that is automatically becoming a DHCP client. Okay. Now imagine that it connects with each other like this. Now imagine that after a DORA process, this DHCP server sends one IP configuration package to this client, and that client and it sends the IP address is imagine 10.1.1.2. Okay. Now this IP address got this DHCP client. Now this is my Windows 8. You can say that Windows 10. You can say that. So he can get this IP address from DHCP server. Okay, his IP address is 10.1.1.1, and he sends for 10.1.1.2 to DHCP client. Okay, now what happens in that case? Now this I'm not changing anything. By default, this IP address is for 8 days only. The lease duration of this is 8 days. By default is I'm not changing anything, so by default it takes 8 days. So remember always that DHCP sends the IP address only for lease, provide the IP address for lease durations. So this is the 8 days lease I give over there. So what happens after that? After receiving the IP address, there is a renewal process. Renewal process starts with 50% time consumed. Like what happens in that case? In that case, now client after 4 days, like when 50% time is completed, client sends one request to the server that please renew my IP address. This request starts with 50% time completed. Okay. Now next, if imagine that if the DHCP server is not listening in that case, so what happens? Second request goes to 87.5% time completed. Okay. Once your 87.5% time is completed, means after out of 8 days, you can see that 6 or 7 days completed. Your client again sends the request to server that please renew my IP address. That is known as a rebinding process. Number 1 is 50%. Number second is 87.5% completed. Okay. Now imagine that still my DHCP server is not there. Okay. Still is not listening. What happens in that case? After 8 days, what happens? This IP address is expired. 8 days completed, IP address is expired. Now what happens in that case? In that case, in our operating systems, we have one utility Utility name is APIPA. APIPA. The full form is Automatic Private IP Addressing. Automatic Private IP Addressing. This is a utility. Every operating system, it's a utility. This is the utility running every operating system, and this utility have a specific. You can say that there is a reserved network for this utility. The reserve is 169.254. You can say that x.x, like this. This network is reserved for APIPA only. Okay, so once if this client doesn't have IP address, it doesn't get IP address from DHCP server also, and it doesn't I'm not provide the IP address manually also. Okay, it doesn't get the IP address DHCP also, and I'm not setting the IP address manually also. So what happens in that case? This client automatically uses this IP address, this IP address automatically, and with the help of this IP address, he start again searching the DHCP server. Understood? But that is known as renewal process. Okay. One thing you need to understand also that now in 2000, you can say that I think 8 onwards, we have a unlimited option also is there. Unlimited. So we can provide the IP address for unlimited period as well. I'm showing you this option also. In 2019 also we have this option. Okay, so we can provide IP address for unlimited period also. Maximum is 999 days, but if you want to set unlimited, we can set unlimited as well. Okay, so this is known as a rebinding process. Okay, so this is how your DHCP server works. Okay, now I'll show you the demo that now how we will install the DHCP service. Okay, I'll show you the demo once. Need to understand is this also. Now one thing we need to, before we start the demo, we need to understand one thing also, that your DHCP works on domain network as well and workstation as well. Like if you have a workgroup network, we can use DHCP service, not to worry. If you have an Active Directory network, if you have a domain network, we can use also DHCP services. Okay, but if you're using DHCP services with Active Directory network, what I need to authorize my DHCP server with AD as well. If my DHCP server is not authorized, okay, so my DHCP server is not able to provide IP address in my domain network. Understood? Remember these things. Okay, if my DHCP server works in Active Directory or works in domain environment, we need to authorize the DHCP server. It's important. It's mandatory. If my DHCP server not authorized with AD, so what happens in that case? Your DHCP server is not able to provide the IP address to the present domain network. Okay, authorization means I need to integrate my DHCP server with AD, like how my DNS integrate with AD. That is known as dynamic updates. Like same in DHCP server as well. Okay, in DHCP server also we need to integrate my DHCP server with AD as well. We need to authorize it. If my AD authorize my DHCP server, then my DHCP server is able to provide the IP address to the present domain network. Remember these things. I'll showing you how we can authorize the DHCP server as well. Okay, so remember these things, that DHCP server works in workgroup also, DHCP server works in domain also, domain network also, but in domain network we need to authorize the DHCP server. It's important. Okay, now let's do the practical. So this is my server. So I hope my server is okay. My server 1 is running. This is my DC server. Okay, now I start my server 2. In server 2, I'm going to install DHCP services. Okay, remember always that we always install DHCP services in member servers. You can say that. Okay, Microsoft recommend you that we not able to install DHCP services or other services in DCs, because DC already have a AD database. If my DC full is down, all the servers are down. Like imagine if I have only one server, I install DC also, I make the server DC also, I install DHCP service also, file services also, web services also. So what happens in that case? If that DC is down, all the services are down. So that's why Microsoft recommends you that we need a member servers. We need multiple member servers to install multiple services. We always use member servers to install multiple. If you don't have multiple servers, then it's okay. You can install with DC as well. It's okay. But if you have a member server, so Microsoft recommends you that you need to install DHCP service or other services except AD or DNS. Other services you need to install the different servers. Okay, so now we have a member server. So let it start with that, and then I'll showing you how we can install DHCP services. Now I have my DHCP. This is my member server is started. You can say that server 1 is started also, server 2 is also started. Now I'm going to install DHCP services. So for DHCP services there is no requirement. We need a work group environment also. We can install DHCP in work group environment also. We can install DHCP in domain environment also. Okay, we need one dedicated server, and the server should be the server where you can install DHCP services. Your server has at least one static IP address. Remember these things. Like this is my server 2. If I check over there, if I open my ncpa.cpl, it means if I open my line settings, so over there you can see that I statically install the IP address over there. As you can see that, see, I statically install 10.1.1.2 is there. Okay, so your DHCP server where you install the DHCP services, the IP address should be static on that particular server. Okay, now we'll go to start, open server manager. Now see how we can install DHCP services. Now as you can see that my server manager is refreshed now. Click on add roles and features. We have add roles and features. Within add roles and features, click on next. Click on next again. We have member server abc.com. Okay, this is my member server and the IP address service 10.1.1.2. Click on next. Okay, now we need to click on DHCP servers. We need DHCP servers. So in roles we found DHCP server. Let's click on check this. Click on add features. Click on next. Click on next. Okay, that gives you the information about DHCP server. What is DHCP servers? Click on next. Now I enable restart, automatic restart. Click on yes and click on install. Now it's going to install the DHCP servers. This installation is started. So as you can see that installation is started. Now it takes time, I think 2 to 3 minutes to install DHCP services. After install the DHCP services, I will showing you how to create, how to configure DHCP services as well. Okay. Meanwhile it's installed, I'll tell you some more options also. Like if once I install the DHCP server, still it's installing. Okay, take some time. So we'll discuss some more thing. Like we need to understand the DHCP DHCP component which is provided. Okay, after installing the DHCP services, we have DHCP components. Number one is we have DHCP scopes. Okay, DHCP scopes, it is used to provide the range, IP address range. Okay, I need to define the range on DHCP. I means like I install the DHCP, okay, but after that I need to configure DHCP as well. Now I need to tell the DHCP that okay, this is the range you need to provide to the clients. Okay, so in DHCP scope option we have, it's not scopes, it have scope, it's only scope, DHCP scope option. So we have this, with the help of DHCP scope option we can provide the IP address range of the DHCPs. Okay, now if I talk about the DHCP scope, we have multiple scopes. Number one, we have simple, we have just scope. Okay, in that with the help of this scope option we are able to provide the range. Number second, we have super scope. Super scope is used to manage multiple scopes with the help of one scope. Okay, we can merge. You can say that, like, imagine we have multiple scopes, like we have scope 1, scope 2, scope 3. Okay, my DHCP works on different networks. My DHCP assigns IP address to different networks. So we have three scopes. My, like, scope 1, scope 2, scope 3. I can create three scopes. Now I want to manage all these through three scopes with the help of one scope. So we can use super scope. Okay. Number third, we have a multicast scope. If I am using to, if I need to provide the class D IP addresses, class D is a multicast IP addresses. Okay, so therefore multicast IP addresses. So if I need to assign the multicast IP addresses in any network, okay, or if I need to manage, or if I need to provide any multicast range IP addresses, okay, so we can use multicast. Understood? Here are the three scopes we have. Let me check whether the DHCP services, yes, you can see that the DHCP service is installed now. Okay. Okay, so we need to understand the DHCP scopes. Okay, now we'll see that. Now they ask me complete the DHCP configuration. Now with the help of this option, we can authorize the DHCP server as well. Because right now I'm working in AD. Okay, I have a domain network abc.com. So I need to authorize my DHCP server. It's important. If I am not authorized my DHCP server, I'm not able to provide the IP address from this DHCP server in my domain network. So what I need to do, I need to click on complete DHCP configuration. Click on that. Now you can see that we have the option DHCP post installation configuration wizard is there. Okay. So create the following security group for delegation of DHCP server administration. Authorize DHCP server on target computer. So I am going to authorize it domain joined. So this server is a domain joined server. It's a member server. So I need to authorize my DHCP server as well. So what after authorized by DHCP server, it's create two automatically two security groups, DHCP administrators and DHCP users. If I need to, like, imagine that we need already delegation. So imagine that if I have some users, I want that I need to tell my user, okay, you are the one, you are able to you can say that manage the DHCP servers. So what I need to do, I need to add my user in this DHCP server administrator group. If I add my user in this DHCP server administrator group, what happens in that case? My user is able to manage my DHCP servers. Okay. Now click on next over there. Now they ask you, they automatically choose your domain credentials. Okay. So my username is abc and /administrator. So abc is my domain and administrator is the username. Okay. You can skip the authorization also. If you skip the authorization, what happens? This DHCP server is not able to provide the IP address to the domain. Now click on commit. After click on commit, as you can see that it's created a security group and it's authorized the DHCP server is done. Now click on close and click on close. Now you can see that there is no yellow mark is there now. Previously it was showing you yellow mark, a warning mark. Okay. Now click on tools over there. We have the option DHCP. Okay, we can open DHCP from this tools also, server manager, or I close the server manager, or I can use start Windows administrative tools. Over there we have the option DHCP. Okay, so click on DHCP. This is the DHCP console through which we can manage DHCP server. Like, see, this is the DHCP we have. Okay. Now my DHCP server name is memberserver.abc.com. I expand it. We have the two options, IPv4 and IPv6. Okay, so right now we are using IPv4. If I'm using IPv6, I need to configure my DHCP server with IPv6. Now right now I'm using IPv4, so I'm going to configure with IPv4. I expand this IPv4. We have the options. Let's right click on that IPv4. We have the option new scope. Okay, and you can see multicast scope option is also there. Okay, they're not showing you super scope. Why? Because I don't have any scopes right now. If I create multiple scopes, then they automatically visible super scope option is also there. Okay, now click on new scope first. Welcome to the new scope wizard. Click on next. So I'm providing the range over there. So my range starts with, okay, first I need to give the name, scope name. So I go for scope name is scope 1. Okay. Click on next. Now I define the starting range. Configure the settings of DHCP server. Enter the range addresses that the scope distributes. Okay, the start range and end range. So I start with 10.1.1.3. I'm sorry. Scope 1. Yes. 10.1.1.3. Okay, why I'm starting with 3? Because 1 and 2 is already used. I start with 3 and 10.1.1. I imagine that I go for 25. That's it. I want to provide that much IP addresses. That's it. 3 to 25. If you want to provide the full range, you can provide the full range as well. Okay, like it starts with 1 and give you to 55, 54, like this also. Okay, we can define the full range also. If you want to provide the limited IP addresses, you can provide the limited IP addresses also. Class A, because I'm using the 10 range, so it's a class A class range. Okay, now click on next. Now they ask for exclusion. Exclusion means if you want to revoke IP addresses. Revoke means that, like, imagine if I talk about the revoke. So revoke means like imagine that I define the range 10.1.1.3 to 10.1.1.25. So total we can provide 22 IP addresses. Okay. Now I want that between this range, I don't want DHCP don't want to provide this IP addresses 10.1.1.10 to 10.1.1.15. So DHCP server not provide these IP addresses. Okay, it's exclude. Exclude means I'm using this IP address as static. Static, I'm using this IP address as static. I'm able to use this. These IP addresses are not provided by DHCP server. If I exclude the range over there, okay, like imagine that right now my range is 10.1.3 and 25. Like imagine I go for that. Okay, exclude. I want to exclude 10.1.1.3 to 10.1.1.24. I exclude everything. I exclude. So it means your DHCP server provides only one IP address, 10.1.1.25. That's it. Rest all are exclude. Okay, I go for that. Okay, fine. Now click on next. Now lease duration, you have 8 days by default. Okay, if you want to expand it, you can expand it hours or minutes also. So by default, I can go for by default 8 days. Okay. Now configure DHCP options. Now in DHCP option, they ask you the router IP address. If you have a router IP address, I don't have any router IP address right now. Like see, it's automatically take my domain name and DNS. My domain name is abc.com and my DNS I have two DNS, 10.1.2 and 10.1.1. Okay, we have preferred DNS also and secondary DNS also. Click on next. Wins, I don't have Win servers right now, so I skip this step. Next. Okay, I want to activate this scope now. Yes, I want to activate this scope now. Click on next and click on finish. As you can see that I have one range. If I click on address pool, so as you can see that they're showing me 325 on my range, and I'm not able to use 324. It's exclude because there is a cross option over there. Okay. In leases, address leases means when my DHCP service provide any IP address to the client, it mentioning over there that okay, this is the client and provide this IP address. Leases. Okay. Now let's see. We'll go for providing the IP address now. So I need to start my client. Give me a minute. I have a client. This is my client. Okay. So we'll start the client now. Okay, so as you can see that my client is there. Now I log in with the client simply. Okay, I hope my IP address, password, I just forgot the password. Okay. Okay, it's login as you can see that. Okay, so over there what I need to do, as you can see that, see, it's automatically taking the abc.com because it's automatically set. See, if I go to my ncpa.cpl once, with the help of ncpa.cpl, I open my LAN settings. And you can see that, right click on that, go to properties, and I go to my IPv4. So as you can see that it's automatically set to obtain an IP address automatically. Okay, we need to set my LAN card on this. Okay, and after that you can see that it's taking the IP address. Okay, if I right click on that, click on status, and click on details over there, so they're showing me it taking 10.1.1.25. Okay, and the DHCP server IP address is 10.1.1.2 and DNS IP address is 10.1.1.1 and 1.1.2, like this. Okay, like this. If I go to my server 2 and if I just refresh once, I click on lease, refresh it, so they're showing me that it provide the IP address 10.1.1.25 for this particular client, and this is the expiration range over there. Okay, so after 8 days this IP address is expired. Today is 21 in this server, it's showing you 21 at night 11:32, and so according to this server, so it's expired 29th of July 2020. Okay, like this we can provide the IP address with the help of client. Okay, now if I want to like this is the IP addresses we have. Okay, so that is what we have, how to provide the IP addresses from DHCP server. Okay, like this. So this is the basic configuration of DHCP server, as you can see that. Okay, now we can reserve the IP addresses also. Like imagine we have the option, his name is reserve. We have DHCP reservation. Now what is the meaning of reservations are there? Reservation means I can reserve a dedicated IP address to a dedicated system, to a dedicated client as well. Okay, I want that every time when DHCP server provides the IP address to my particular client, I need to provide that particular IP address only. If it is renew the IP address, it provides that particular IP address. So we can reserve also with the help of MAC address. We can reserve the IP addresses also. So with the help of reservations, we can reserve the IP address to the dedicated client as well. Okay, with the help of MAC address. Okay, like see, if I showing you how we can reserve the addresses. Like you see again, we have some excluded IP addresses. We can reserve the excluded IP addresses as well. Okay, like imagine I go to reservation, click on right click on new reservation. Okay, over there they ask me the reservation name. Imagine my reservation name is reserve 1. Okay, and I define the IP address over there is 1.1.1.10. I want to reserve the IP address 10 to this client. Now I need a MAC address for this client. So my MAC address client is this 000C29. I need to write over there 000C29, and we have 552B5B. Okay, 552B5B, like this, and we use DHCP server. Click on add over there and click on close. As you can see that the reservation is started now. Now this is the reservation we have. Okay, now let's see how we can now I need to now I have two options. Either I need to wait till 8 days. Okay, either I need to wait till 8 days. Okay, or I go for manually go for change the IP address. How we can go for that? Let's open CMD over there and go for IP config. So as you can see that we have already one IP address which is provided by DHCP server. IP config. Okay, just wait. I need to check once. Oh, sorry, my LAN card is by default disabled. I need to enable it once. So as you can see that if either I can go for enable disable the LAN card. Okay, so it's automatically changed the IP addresses. Okay, or it's renew the IP addresses again if I enable disable the LAN card. Okay, or what I do, I can use IP config. Right now it's taking automatically my reserve range. Okay, if I need to renew manually, so how we can go for that? I go for IP config /release. Okay, release means to finish the previous IP address, and I go for IP config /renew. Again renew. Now as you can see that it's showing me it's going to renew the IP address again now. As you can see that it's taking the reservation range now. Now clear for server 2 over there. and you can see that if I click on lease and refresh it once, so they're showing me that now reservation is active. Now let's go for 10.1.1.10. Now it's working on 10.1.1.10 like this. Like this, how we can provide the IP address through DHCP server. It's a basic one. Okay. Well, I'll make the advanced options videos as well. Not to worry. Okay. That's it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching.